Having won the general election on Friday, the GSLP-Liberal Government now has a manifesto full of policies and promises to work on. Today at midday they got together here at the Chief Minister's office to see who would do what. So let's tell you which government minister got which job.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Paul Balban takes on health, the biggest spending ministry, together with care.
he's a man who's committed to a healthy lifestyle. And what I want to do is I want to focus health from the point of view of a healthy lifestyle. How do we prevent people having to need the services of the health authority when it comes to cardiac issues, etc., etc.? Well, it's doing the work that Paul was already dealing with in transport. You need to walk more, you need to cycle more, you need to get out of your cars. That's how we prevent pollution. And all of these things are connected.
Stephen Linares is the new Minister for Housing, responsible for delivering several new co-ownership estates.
Stephen Linares has delivered some magnificent sporting facilities in a short space of time for the Island Games. We were games ready, as you know, by the time the Island Games got here. Of course, he will be working with the same teams that he was working with before. He'll be working with the Chief Technical Officer, he'll be working with the Financial Secretary, and he'll be working with the contractors that are going to be delivering those homes, and not just the affordable homes. We're also going to build 500 rental homes, and he's going to be able to do that too.
Samantha Sacramento becomes the first female Minister for Justice and is tasked with setting up the new anti-corruption authority.
One of the key things that Brexit is going to do is it's going to require us to produce a lot of homegrown legislation to plug the holes that EU legislation is going to leave. And so what I needed to do was I needed to have a lawyer who was very able take on responsibility for justice, because that portfolio is really going to now require a lot of work.
John Cortes is made responsible for delivering a green Gibraltar, one of the main GSLP Liberal slogans at the recent election. He retains environment, but new specific responsibilities for pollution prevention and control, conservation and sustainability are also his. Dr. Cortes is now also the Minister for Culture. Albert Isola has a new ministry in digital services while keeping financial services and gaming. He also takes on broadcasting and town planning, meaning he'll oversee the creation of a new development plan.
As we look at Gibraltar, and we're going to deliver this green Gibraltar, child-friendly Gibraltar, we're going to have a new town plan. How does that fit in with also a town that is growing and that is going to be delivering for businesses as well?
Newcomer Vijay Daryanani will be the Minister for Business, Tourism, Postal Services and Transport. It means he's responsible for implementing the government's Sustainable Traffic and Transport Plan.
Tourism is also heavily impacted on transport, and the key way that we get people into Gibraltar is through transport, whether it's air transport or it's vehicular transport, etc. Then we get them around Gibraltar. So I wanted to link all these things together, also with the Ministry for Business and for small businesses and family businesses also, so that there could be an overview of all of that taking. As you look at this walk the wall concept that we have, I want Walk the Wall not just to be for you and me to be able to walk to work or take our children for a lengthy walk at the weekend. I also want it to be a tourist attraction. That's why I wanted it to be part of the tourism ministry.
Gilbert Ligudi takes on education, employment and public utilities. He also keeps the port and maritime services. Sir Joe Bossano stays with economic development and inward investment, as well as procurement and training. The 80-year-old is also given apprenticeships and skills as part of his post-Brexit economic plan. Deputy Chief Minister Joseph Garcia is responsible for all external action, including the EU, Brexit, the United Nations and the Commonwealth. Working from the Chief Minister's office at No. 6 Convent Place, Dr. Garcia will also be responsible for political reform and transparency.
Every ministry matters in Gibraltar. In order to deliver our manifesto, I have to ensure that I calibrate the skills that I have at my disposal in the fantastic cabinet team that I have, so that I know that we can best discharge the obligations that each minister will have. We look at our manifesto, we see 148 pages, and we look at how we're going to be able to slice and dice that in order to be able to deliver in the 48 months that we have available.
The Chief Minister, Fabian Picardo, retains responsibility for the economy and public finances, the Treasury, taxation, international treaties and representation, industrial relations, drugs, customs, the Gibraltar Development Corporation and Gib Telecom. And he'll look after another big GSLP Liberal pledge to make Gibraltar a truly child-friendly city, taking on responsibility for families and children.
So there are two key things that are outside the normal portfolio responsibilities of a Chief Minister that I'm going to retain. I'm going to retain responsibility for the Interministerial Committee on Drugs, and I'm going to retain responsibility, or going to create responsibility for families, children and social development, and the child-friendly city. Why? Because that, I think, in the end, is the key thing that governments need to deliver for their people. Good public services, etc., but in particular, that our most vulnerable, our children, should have a great city in which to live.
The Chief Minister said government ministers would work more closely together than ever before, promising a more joined-up approach, with more interministerial committees. He said the work to deliver the GSLP-Liberal manifesto over the next 48 months has already started.